Good morning, everyone. It's Friday the 13th. We do have a storm headed down the coast. We're going to be seeing rain a little bit later today. We do have some swell increasing for Saturday. It looks like we're going to see some break in the weather then. We do have also a delay on the storm that's going to be hitting Sunday, so it looks like Sunday may start out clear. We do have some unstable conditions, though, and a lot of rain will be coming down with these next two systems. So Sunday night and Monday is looking very wet. A lot of wind coming down with that Sunday system. That's going to be kicking up a whole lot of wind fetch along the coast as well. Looks like we could be seeing quite a sizable increase in surf on Monday and Tuesday, although conditions aren't looking all that favorable. Wanted to show you what's going on with the models today. This is what's happening right now. Taking a look at the wave analysis models, we can see that Southern California still has that wind swell fetch off the coast. This is what came down on Thursday. Still providing some surf out there. It's very steep angled, though, coming down from about 310, 320 degrees. More wind swell fetch looking to come down the coast here shortly. More western Pacific storms are lined up. Still see that clockwise spin that's been going on. Storms will be lifted up from the western Pacific high up into the Aleutian chain. We can see a 20-foot fetch then forming. This is on the 24-hour model tomorrow. Seeing that fetch rolling down the coast with an ETA to fill in on Saturday and into Sunday. That's going to be very steep angled, though, and it's going to break apart before it ever gets down to Southern California. But still, some swell will be headed down our way for Saturday. And we can see more of that fetch starting to form kind of off the coast, and that's going to be bringing swell to the area, but it's going to have to spread into our area, and that's shown here. And this is out on 96-hour simulation, so we're still gauging this for Monday and Tuesday. And unfortunately, most of the ground swells that we'd be able to gauge could be about 2,000 miles away. This is only a couple hundred miles off the coast, so it's still out on 96-hour simulation. But it still looks like we're going to be seeing some sizable fetch in Monday and Tuesday. And then you can see on the long range, just not a whole lot happened. It looks like things may quiet down then for a while. Taking a look at the weather models, this is the relative vorticity model. You can see where Southern California is in location to all of this red and blue. The red and the yellow and those very deep colors, that's strong low in vorticity. We can see one coming down the coast. That's going to be that storm that's going to be hitting us shortly. The blue would be more indicative to high pressure with this type of vorticity. So we can see that red, it's forming more of a storm coming down toward our area. It seems to be more up high in the Gulf of Alaska. Once again, this is almost identical to what the swell models are showing us, and that's because each one of these storms is inextricably linked to swell coming our way. You can see more coming down from the Gulf of Alaska. That's what's going to be plaguing us when we start getting into Sunday. There has been a delay on that. You can see this is sitting more offshore from what models had predicted it would be a few days ago. But look at how strong that vorticity is, getting a very big blob of red right off our coast. Then you can see by about Sunday morning that massive low, strong vorticity sitting off there just waiting to throw some rain into Southern California. But once again, it looks like that rain will be delayed. That's also, that strong vorticity is associated with very strong winds that would be causing that massive fetch that would spread into Southern California. That's also somewhat shown here as that relative vorticity starts moving a little bit more toward the east. That'd be kicking up that fetch moving into our area. But we see even more coming down from the Gulf of Alaska, once again linked also with those swells that would be headed our way. So it looks like we're going to see even more systems and more rain probably into Tuesday. I wanted to also point out something that's going to be causing some unstable conditions over the next couple of days, and especially for today's storm later on. See where Southern California is located in position to the jet stream. That jet stream, the stronger the winds, the lighter the color. And you can see that that jet stream here later on today would be moving right over Point Conception. That'd be causing something known as divergence. That would be spreading the air out, and that would be allowing a lot of moisture to start climbing up. And we're looking at the possibility in the atmosphere to get very unstable because of all this, which could produce thunderstorms and possibly hail. Looks like that jet stream is then going to stay over our region for a while. So we're looking at possible instability with everything as far as the moisture content of the atmosphere and the instability, keeping the chance of thunderstorms and possibly hail even through the weekend. But not every day is going to have rain in the forecast or foul conditions necessarily, although winds will be problematic through the weekend. This Friday system coming down should clear out, so we have some clearer conditions, partly cloudy possibly on Saturday. The Sunday system is looking to get delayed, so we're looking at possibly starting out the day on Sunday with some sunny skies Rain, though, possibly heading down the coast during the afternoon, hitting San Diego as far south down there by Mexico as well by the evening, and some heavy rain in throughout that period through Sunday into Monday morning. A lot of winds expected with this system to kick up quite a bit of wind swell fetch off the coast. We're looking at a very noticeable increase in wind swell on Monday and Tuesday. This is all based on long-range models. Given the proximity of all this, it really doesn't allow much time to do a very reliable long-range forecast, unlike ground swell systems. A lot of times during this time of year where we're looking at 1,500 to 2,000 miles away, allowing a good 3-day swell window when swell would be imminent. So that's it in a nutshell. If you want to get all the ETAs, wind, swell, tide, weather, and more, you can always check out my SoCal Surf Report at wetsand.com.